Hello everyone, this is Snowball giving you another Snowcast, and we have game number 2 of a best of 3 series between Loner and MarineKingPrime. Now Loner's going under the name Fever right now, and we've got MarineKingPrime up at the top going under, I apologize, I do not know any Korean whatsoever. I can count up to 20 because I have taken a little bit of Taekwondo, but that doesn't really help much in me being able to read anything. So we do know it is MarineKingPrime up here, and we've got Loner down here. So this is game number 2. Like I said, I've got game number 1 right before this, so go ahead, check that out. Then check out game number 2, and then I'll have game number 3 on right after that. So feel free to check those out, and we've got everything going a-okay, nice and normal right here. So right now we've got Loner saying Chobo. You may guy Chobo. I don't know what that may guy means, but if you ever see anyone say Chobo when you're on BattleNet playing StarCraft or whatever, Chobo is the Korean equivalent of the word noob. So if somebody thinks you're not very good at the game or thinks you did a big mistake, they will call you a Chobo. So hopefully you can avoid being a Chobo. And right now we've got barracks that's going down by both players. Note the placement of the barracks for MarineKingPrime. This tells me a couple of things. First off, he's probably going to wall off because his barracks is built really close. And normally in TVTs, the barracks is built farther back. As you can see right here, the barracks is built farther back so as to not block off the wall. And a second thing is, if you notice, there's a spot right here where he can just drop an attachment. So I'm betting he's going to be dropping an attachment on that barracks very shortly after it's made. He probably will make one Marine and then drop either a tech lab or a reactor, but I don't know for sure. So the beauty actually in this kind of matchup, the Terran versus Terran matchup, is that you can pretty much do a whole slew of different strategies, and they all tend to work in their own separate and individual ways. So you can go for a Marine Marauder push, just do the regular old like you do against what would be normal against a Protoss, and that works out fairly well. Mix in some tanks in there, and then you can control the map a little better. Or you can go for a less economical build because the Marine Marauder lets you expand earlier. If you go less economical and faster tech, you can actually get out the Hellions for Hellion drops, Banshees for Banshee drops. So your main 2 goals as a Terran player is either I'm going to build a second base and hold on to what I've got, or I'm going to wreck the economy. You don't really see one base army versus army compositions in Terran versus Terran as you do with other races. Especially Protoss versus Protoss, people will stay on one base for about 12 or 13 game minutes before building their expansions many times, just because of the power of the 4-gate and the Colossus. But in Terran versus Terran, because of the immobility of their units, it's a lot easier to defend as a Terran. But certain units such as the Banshee and the Hellion exploit this because the Hellion has a nice fast move speed, and the Banshee, well, it can fly over pretty much anything, and the only real unit you have early on to fight against it is the Marine. The second unit you get that shoots air is a Thor, but it's so expensive that you don't generally want to make Thors to counter Banshees. Even though the Thors are really good, it just takes a long time to get to the Banshee, and the Thors are really, really slow. So in order to protect 2 bases, keep your gas high, just build some Marines, and you should be fine. So we've got right here, we've got Loner scouting out, not seeing much of anything, and we do have the reactor going down for MarineKingPrime, as well as a factory with a tech lab and another barracks with a reactor. So it looks like we will see a lot of Marines coming out from MarineKingPrime. Not a huge surprise there. We do see a attempted swap on the factory. If I were to guess, it looks like that he is probably going to swap these 2 out right there, and he's going to be making a Banshee or 2, maybe even getting some Cloak, but he did end up using a reactor to make some Marines. It looks like he is running short on money right now, so he's not able to produce from everything at the same time, which is interesting. He may even get a supply blocked here for a little bit, which does happen even to the pros. A lot of people say StarCraft is like a game of lightning speed chess where nobody can play 100% perfectly, which is completely true. You watch these pro players play, and you can catch their mistakes, but in reality, it's nearly impossible to play at the level that they do. They've been practicing, their whole lives for this kind of level, and they're still not perfect. So that just shows you how much farther this game can go once the game matures more and people play more. So we've got MarineKingPrime checking out the Xel'Naga Watchtower to see if anything goes. Oh, and he pulls it off right as the Banshee's coming. He did not see that Banshee at all. So He doesn't even know that Banshee's coming to his base. We've got a Loner coming up here. He knows if he can just hold off this one attack, he will be fine. But the Banshee is coming into the base. He's got nothing to guard except these Marines that are just getting picked off by the Banshee. And it's insane damage. Doesn't even need Cloak to do damage. You can see the kill count going up and up for the Banshee right now. But right here, we've got a siege tank going down. Got a couple shots off when the Marines came up and popped in. And it looks like he will be able to siege up right there, and he will hold a good contain while his base is getting pretty well demolished by this Banshee. The one Banshee it's able to take out multiple Marines, and it's still alive. 20 hit points, 15 kills. So Marine King Prime knows he has to do something, pushes in, doesn't succeed, and that is a good game, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys enjoyed that. We're going on to game number 3. This is Snowball. Thanks for watching.